Last night, we attended a school board meeting. At that meeting, the schools talked about their budget and the funding of full-day kindergarten. At that meeting, they did make a proposal to the select board, and tonight we'll be talking about that proposal and considering a counteroffer or action thereof.
The budget that was approved by the select board at its last regular meeting on the 21st, that is now in the almost final draft of the warrant, showed a gap of $125,000 between what the school committee had approved and what the select board was recommending funding for the schools. So the schools, I'm told, did debate this at length, and basically have responded with they amended their budget in a manner that, I guess, if you're saying it differently, would be considered a counter-proposal. So if you take, theoretically, $48,000 in DPW general fund expense and pay for those expenses with the parking lot fees retained earnings, and then you take $50,000 in school choice and put that back into the school budget as revenue, thereby freeing up $50,000 in general fund revenue that could then go back to the town side. And I hope I'm doing this right.
Close enough.
All right. That leaves us now with a new gap, a new deficit, if you will, of $27,000. The question I think before the board is simply, do you want to make that adjustment to the town budget that's been approved now, and then we can make the change to the warrant before it goes to the printer? Or do you want to stick with what you have, continue the dialogue, and basically make the adjustment on the floor of town meeting?
The budget as we proposed it for the town meeting called for the school department to be funded from general revenue in the amount of $33,078,629. The school committee's budget had asked for $33,203,629. The difference is $125,000. That the school committee has now amended their budget formally so that their budget now is $33,153,629. And they're asking that that amount go into the warrant as our recommended budget. In order to do that, we would need to find an additional $75,000 in the town general revenue budget. The school committee has offered to allow the town's general revenue expenses to charge up to $48,000 to be paid by the high school parking fund. And if we did that, we would need to reduce one of our expense line items, which I assume would be that Department of Public Works general fund line item, which is right now around $3.49 million, by $48,000, because we'd have to reduce our expenses by that. And then we'd have to find $27,000 somewhere else to reduce our expenses by.
Or I move that we accept the compromise budget and that we cut the fire truck fund by $27,000.
I think we've got the town that is venturing into dangerous territory. We're violating our policies, the policies we designed and developed for the future of our town. This year, we've taken money from our capital program. We've also taken money from our OPEB program. And ladies and gentlemen, you have to understand, this is not a one-year need. This is a reoccurring need. We're talking about increasing the total outlay of our budget by, I guess, to the tune of $300,000 every year. This need will be funded next year. This year, we're proposing funding this with all what they call no-year or one-year money. It's non-reoccurring. I consider it a financial failure of this board to take these funds. The schools have come to us with a new program that they'd like to implement, full-day kindergarten, tuition-free. And it's not mandated by the state. Right now, it's a discretionary program. Half-day is mandated by the state, and that's being taken care of. So we're being asked to fund a non-discretionary program. And now, once we put it in, it becomes mandatory. It no longer is discretionary, and we will be ponying up this money each year. And where's it coming from next year? I asked that question to anybody in this room that would like to tell me, where is this money coming from next year?
It's actually $550,000 we have in pavement preservation, plus the expected $450,000 that we get roughly from Chapter 90 money, is that it? So we've got about $1 million, so I'd rather take $27,000 out of $1 million for pavement than $27,000 out of $100,000 for what we know to be a fire truck that we need. So that's why I'm voting against it.
I moved to accept the compromised budget and
Cut the fire truck fund by $27,000.
Okay, so you'd funded 27 out of the fire fund truck. Okay, no further discussion. All in favor? All opposed? Motion passed.